Hey, all right, welcome to the Tuesday show. My name's Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
Doing well, doing well. So, you know, typically we do these things on a Tuesday. Last week we did it on a Monday due to other circumstances happening, which meant that the EVO reveals lineup happened the day after that we did the show, so we'll be talking about that today.
Right. Usually it's announced right before, as we get to talk about it right away, but yeah, didn't quite
work out.
We have a chance to ruminate and stew on it.
Yeah, well, we've been stewing a little bit, I would say. We're going to talk about the Blanka reveal trailer. We're going to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles being playable
and how they
so
work
far.
And everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to go over results for Strong Style and Tokaigi and etc.
Yes. Lots of little
and so on.
Tidbits and little bits of information here and there to talk about.
Yes, so. Definitely. It's a lot of stuff happened.
Yep. But first foremost, probably one of the big things, the EVO lineup.
Definitely.
Which is always a time for the FGC to have lots of salt and for people to get mad. And I mean, it's funny because every year, right before it's announced, I always throw out my standard tweet, which is, hey, look, I know some people are going to be mad, but like, let's be happy for the games. I forgot to do that this year, and like, I felt like this was like the worst ever. Not because I didn't tweet it out. I'm just saying, like,
of course.
But it's just like, man, people were salty this year.
Yeah, well, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. So let's go over the games.
Sure. All right. So let's go over the ones that everyone knew was going to be there, right? Okay. So Street Fighter V, of course, going to be there. Tekken 7, definitely going to be there. Dragon Ball FighterZ, definitely going to be there. And probably Smash Wii U, definitely going to be there, right? And so one of the ones that we had listed under, probably. was Melee.
Sure.
So Melee is in there.
Sure.
Injustice is in there.
Sure. Made sense.
And then this is where it starts getting a little dodgy.
Okay.
Guilty Gear made it. So, okay, cool.
Right.
And then...
now we're at 8.
Yes. And then the last 9th game was Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle.
I mean, that is the 8th, rather, to round it out.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, which is coming out
Tag
June 3rd or June 5th, I believe it is.
Yeah.
So basically, about 2 months before EVO happens, games are coming out. That's when that game is coming out, right? And of course...
What does that leave off? That's
the biggest thing about this. This is where all the salt came from. And I don't even know if it's salt as much as just a lot of depressed people or just a lot of frustrations. But Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, not on that list. So Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was the big question mark.
Yeah.
And even in our preview show on Monday, we were like, it probably has a decent chance of not making it. So, look, I like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
I know.
I enjoy the game a lot.
Sure.
I've been telling everybody it's a fun game.
It is.
You guys should not, give it a chance and play it. It's a fun game. Yet, it not being in the EVO lineup doesn't surprise me.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I can't even really say I'm that emotionally affected by it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sad it's not there, but again, some games aren't going to make it. Some games are.
Of course.
I'm going to be happy for the ones that made it, and I'm going to live by my own advice. You know what I mean?
Good. That's good of you.
I'm going to be happy for the games that made it in there. So
I got to be honest, even as we were doing the show saying there's a real chance Marvel wouldn't be in, I didn't really think it wouldn't be in. It's true. I thought that was maybe, but it's like a point of we can just sort of chat about something and have an interesting conversation. But I didn't really think it would happen.
Really?
Yes.
Oh man. Well,
but it did.
It did happen.
It sure did.
And there is no Marvel at EVO. So
it's not an official game.
Right. But, okay, before we get into more Marvel stuff, let's talk about the games that are in there. Let's talk a little bit about the games that are in there, right? So, personally, I'm happy Guilty Gear's in there. I'm sure you're happy Injustice is in there, right?
For
sure. Sad that Injustice is not going to get the Sunday day, because basically that's 2 years.
If it was going to happen, it would have been last year.
Yeah. They said Guilty Gear was going to be on Sunday, so I'm a little I believe they said Guilty Gear was going to be there.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, okay. So I'm happy about that one. They said that Melee is going to be back on Sunday.
Yes.
And then it's going to be Tekken 7, Street Fighter, and Dragon Ball. Those three were almost guaranteed going to be Sunday. Of course, the question is what the order is going to be, and that all comes down to this question then is, do you think Dragon Ball is going to go at the end of the day? If it has the most entrants, do you think it'll close out Sunday?
I think there's a real chance of that, but I wouldn't bet on it. I feel like the smart money is still betting on SF5, not just because of numbers. I think there's again a real chance that Dragon Ball gets more entrants than Street Fighter, but sort of that's what I think they would think people would want to see.
Yeah. Okay.
If that makes sense, like that's my expectation of what their expectation would be. But as I said, I really think that there's a chance that Dragon Ball could get it. We'll see though. You know, there's a lot of time between now and August. So.
They usually don't do it by order of entrance. They just do it by, how they feel like they can, hold out the hype, because the hype is always the most for Street Fighter at the end of the day, right? So
historically.
So we'll see how the storylines for Dragon Ball progress throughout the year.
Yeah.
So the other question that I have, though, is how many people do you think Dragon Ball is going to get? And do you think it can break the 5,000 record for Street Fighter V from 2 years ago?
I think
2016.
I think I doubt that.
Okay.
Yeah. Before Dragon Ball launched, I thought that there may have been a chance of that, but I guess I don't see, although many people are playing it, I don't see it blowing up in that crazy kind of way.
Well, I mean, obviously the online is kind of an issue right now.
I really think it is. Not that I think that's going to be why 1,000 people who would have entered don't enter.
Right.
But just I don't sort of sense the buzz around it that would lead to it getting 6,000 entrants. I think there's a real chance that it gets 3,000. Right? Like I really think it could have the most. So I think it's doing great. Everybody loves it. The only problem is the online. Everybody knows this. Everything else is fantastic. So I really think it could get a lot, but I don't think it would break SF's number. Do you?
I would be surprised if it broke Street Fighter's record. However, I wouldn't be surprised I wouldn't be like, oh my god, it broke the record.
Yeah.
Whoa! Like, I would be like, okay, sure, But, I mean, do I expect 3,000 people? Almost definitely.
Probably, yeah.
Do I expect 4,000 people? I think possibly, very possibly. But to be honest with you, again, Street Fighter got 5,000 entrants because it was registration before the game came out. There's a lot of hype for it. There's a lot of energy for it. I feel like if the registration for EVO was a month before Dragon Ball was released, Dragon Ball would have over 5,000 entrants. But now that it's out, I don't think that's going to be the case. Not saying that people are disappointed with the way it is, but it's just the nature of the internet. There are the haters out there. I see social media. There's just these people who are like, this game's not exciting at all.
For Dragon Ball?
Yeah, I see a lot of people complaining about it and here and there. And, if you're just the person who's like, I'm not sure about this game, you hear people say that, then you're like, maybe this game isn't exciting. I mean, it's just, there's just, so again, it's that whole thing that I'm frustrated with, which is all the negativity. And I wish that wasn't such a powerful thing. But it is. It is. And it affects people no matter what. And it drives me nuts for that reason, which is why I keep trying to tell people, let's not be negative. Let's be positive about these things, But I do think the positivity for the game so far is much greater than the negativity. So, I do still expect it to be like 4,000 entrants for this, especially because people are playing it from every scene, right?
Right. So, people in the chat are mentioning that the PC player base the concurrence has gone way down. It was at like 45,000 or something.
Yeah.
And now it's at I heard 10,000 or something like that, 8 to 10,000. That's still great for a fighting game. I gotta be honest. that is still fantastic numbers for a fighting game, and that's on PC. And I don't know how PS4 is doing. I don't know how the other consoles are doing, but presumably pretty well. Because still, whenever I log in, the lobbies are all still 50, 60
And again, a lot of those numbers drops are not going to be because they don't like the game. But it's because they're probably having trouble with online, and that's discouraging for them.
Sure, and a lot of people buy fighting games and don't intend to play it for forever. Right? I mean, that's how a lot of casual players are. They'll buy a game and play it for a while and get some fun out of it, play the story, whatever, and move on. I don't think that there's any surprise in that.
Right.
So that doesn't concern me. The drop to 8 or 10K is not concerning to me.
Okay.
Anyway, Dragon Ball we knew was going to be in there.
Yeah. What do you think about Melee being on Sunday instead of Smash Wii U?
Well, that's cool with me. I mean, it's the game that I prefer watching. I like both of them a lot, but last year was Smash 4.
Yes.
That's when I chose to take my lunch break. Look, I only had certain options. All right?
I know.
It was a limited window of time. And now with Melee in there, I'm not sure when I'm going to eat. I don't know, man. SF, Tekken, Dragon Ball, Gear, Melee. I really want to watch all of those.
Yeah.
It might be here.
I think it's just good that they're alternating back and forth between the games.
Yeah, for sure.
But what's interesting is that there's actually a lot of people who are actually mad that Melee is, like, for example, still in the lineup, right?
Right.
So they're like, oh, don't need 2 Smash games. And
right.
There was someone actually put out a chart of, like, when the games were released, and it's like, here, and then Melee is like,
right.
Like, I don't know. Do you feel
That's great.
Do you feel like Melee should be, like, eventually just, like, taken out, or do you think it wasn't time yet for it?
No, it's definitely not time.
Okay.
It's still getting huge entrants.
Yeah.
It has multiple 1,000-person tournaments per year.
Right.
At Evo, it's going to have 1,500 plus or whatever. It's still going to have
Probably
a ton of.
Still be like 2,000 people.
Definitely possible.
Right, yeah.
It's still going to have a ton of viewers. I sort of don't get those arguments that it being old means you shouldn't play it anymore. I just, come on, it's so silly.
If ST was getting that many people, you damn well I'd want that game to be at Sunday, right?
And it would be at Evo.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be, for sure it would be at Evo.
Exactly.
It needs to be at Evo. It really does. And again, we've mentioned this many times, other people have too, the player bases are very distinct. There is not much overlap between the two scenes, Smash 4 and Melee. Less than in some other fighting game scenes. Like, I bet the crossover between Gear and BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle is going to be way higher.
Right, and it's interesting that you brought those two games up, because those are the exact games I was about to use as an example, because from a perspective of someone who doesn't play Smash, Melee and Smash 4 look exactly the same. And you talk to those Smash players, and they're like, God, they couldn't be more different, right? I mean, it would be the same thing for Smash players. They could probably see Guilty Gear and BlazBlue and be like, these games are the exact same thing. And they couldn't be possibly more different from our perspective, right?
Yeah.
So, it's very similar kind of thing. So, if you're frustrated that there's 2 Smash games, well, I mean, there's 3 ArcLive games in there.
Yep.
It's time for it's the timeline of anime games now.
Dude, think about this. There are 3 ArcLive, there's 2 Nintendo, right? And then you got NRS, and then you got 1 Capcom.
And a Bandai Namco.
And Bandai. Well, Bandai has 2-ish. Right, they're the publisher for Dragon Ball. ArcLive is the developer.
So ArcLive is 2.5.
So 2.5 and 1.5, whatever. Right? But the ones that only have 1 are Capcom and NRS.
So, I mean, it's interesting, because, like, a lot of people are mad about this lineup. And it's frustrating to me, right? Because I saw someone who was like, man, every year there's a reason for me to be mad and not want to go to Evo. And I was like, if you have that attitude, you're never going to go. Because there's just no way the lineup is going to make you happy. Like, it's literally impossible. And, like, everyone has always said, like, man, Evo's really just a Capcom tournament. It's so stupid, blah, 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 blah.
Historically.
I've actually seen people say, like, man, Evo only has 1 Capcom game this year. This is bullshit.
Right.
Like, how can you only have 1 Capcom game? That's like, you can't, like, dude, how do you complain about, like, oh, they only will ever put in 1 ArcLive game. That's so lame.
Right.
Now there's 3 of them. Why would you put 3 games in there from the same company? It's like, Yeah.
That stuff I think is dumb and not really worth paying attention to.
Yeah.
So. And as people in the chat say, I'm sure those are different people.
Oh, yeah.
But point taken.
Yeah, it's just it's like you can't make people happy. That's why I always say
you're going to screw
just
somebody.
have to see that lineup and appreciate what it is and be happy for the games that are in there.
Well, yeah.
And if the games that you wanted that aren't going to be aren't in there, then go and throw a crazy side tournament. You know what I mean? I gave the example of the Guilty Gear that I always give example when it dropped out of the lineup.
Indeed.
They threw the side tournament and it was back in the lineup the next year. Do I expect Marvel to be in the lineup next year if they throw an awesome side tournament? Hell no. But still, like, it's just the point being is that not like instead of going like, well, screw Evo, I'm gonna boycott. But like going in there and doing cool things for your community, for your scene, and giving it a presence there regardless. Positivity is always going to breed better results than negativity.
Yeah, that's true. And in any case, Evo is still one of the best places to go to play other people in whatever your fighting game is. Because so many people are there. Somebody's going to want to play Marvel Infinite or KOF or whatever, right? And I'm sure that the side tournaments will be big. But the funky choice, clearly, is BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. Everybody gets why Guilty Gear might be in there, right? Injustice, you understand. That's the one that is confusing.
But see,
I'm not sure how to phrase this.
It's
absolutely the wrong decision. I don't
well,
know.
even on Monday, when on our preview prediction, remember we had that 8 lineup, and then someone said, "What about BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle?" As soon as they said that, I was like, oh, that's actually a real legitimate game that could be put in there. And that's why when they announced it, I wasn't like, what? Like, I was like, okay, so they did decide to put it in there.
Right.
And, I think that's, I don't know, like, I don't see it as weird. I mean, every year they've done this. They've put in a game that hasn't been released yet. Like, they've done it for, like, the past 4 years. At this point in time, it's like, we have to stop being surprised by it,
I guess that's true. But they, in doing so, they left out Marvel and KOF, 2 games that, could be in there.
Yeah.
Definitely could be in there. I don't hate the decision because I get it in the sense that it may be a popular game. BlazBlue was popular and is popular. And this is sort of maybe that's the replacement for it. It's not really the same, but maybe that's the thinking. I just really think that Marvel would have had more players and that maybe KOF would have. But I don't know. What I guess I don't like about it is that it's trying out a new game when games that are in existence are around,
right?
That could make a good claim to being at Evo. So I'm not opposed to having a new game, but an unreleased game. But I am in the case where released games are out, and especially in their first year, didn't get a chance to be in there.
Right.
So, yeah. Well, with Injustice 2, obviously everybody knew that NRSing was only going to play Injustice or MK. Like, I don't think that's the same kind of thing. So, we'll see. I mean, I feel like Cross Tag Battle, it won't get no entrance. I mean, definitely people will come for it, and I'm looking forward to playing the game myself.
Yeah, so Muddleway asked the question that I kind of wanted to talk about. So I mean, I have conspiracy theories as much as anybody else does, right? One of my theories is just like, you just don't want to deal with Marvel.
Yes.
Right? Because Evo is big enough. Like, you can be a smaller tournament and run Marvel and no one will care. But if you're Evo and you have the potential to be this big thing, ESPN broadcast again maybe and everything like that, Marvel's going to take notice, right? Yeah. And so if you run the MVCI at this event, suddenly you got to get Marvel approval on everything, right? Because Marvel is just that way. They're tough to work with, right? Do you think that might have been a factor in there? Or
I think that must have been a giant factor.
Yeah, you think so?
I don't have any knowledge on this, but that is my takeaway from it. It's not the case that, for example, people aren't playing Marvel. It got the 4th or 5th or 3rd most entrants at every tournament that's happened so far. Would it have gotten 2,000 people? Definitely not.
Right.
But it probably would have had more than Injustice or Cross Tag Battle, maybe Gear. So it's there's got to be something else. I really don't think it was that. And I think that Marvel is a real contender for that.
You know what the funny thing to me is, though, is, a lot of people are always like, Capcom games always get all the attention, Capcom games. Well, in this case, I actually feel like Marvel got bit by that, because I think part of the thought process that nobody plays it, well, one, the Steam numbers just aren't good, right? Like, that makes you depressed, right? But at the same time, because now you are a Capcom game and you have that reputation, you feel like you're supposed to be either right there with Street Fighter V or right under it. And so when you're like saying, dude, it was like the 4th highest game at this tournament, or dude, it was like the 3rd. When Marvel 3 first came out, it was the 2nd highest game at the tournament, or the 1st highest game at most tournaments for the longest of time. And then when this one comes out, it's like suddenly you're like the 5th.
For sure.
And so, whereas if you were this other game, that would be like, you were the 5th, woo!
Right, yeah.
But now you're getting bit by the other side of having that Capcom reputation.
That's true. Where
you're 3rd or 4th, and you just sound like, man, that sounds pathetic. You know what I mean? And so you get this feeling like nobody's actually playing it.
I guess I can see that.
Yeah.
It's probably time for us to get over that.
Yeah.
Two out of 3 of Capcom's last fighting game releases have been complete disasters. Just utterly rejected by a lot of people. And the 3rd, Street Fighter V, had gigantic problems too. Right. So I'm not sure why that persists, the idea that Capcom's going to have 1 million players, but you're right, it does. It does.
Right. Yeah, and that's true too. I don't know. It had some decent numbers at tournaments recently.
Marvel?
Yeah. Not entrants, viewers.
Yeah, it was always fun.
It.
Yeah.
It's still one of my favorite ones to watch, but again, I like the game, so I'm coming from a biased standpoint. So
yeah. Again, I really think it would have gotten as many or more than Injustice, something like that. But anyway, we'll never know. I really do think that Marvel must have come in, but again, I don't know. I don't have any knowledge on that.
Here's the other thing, right? Let's even take it past Evo now, because Ian to the Max put out an article that he confirmed with Capcom that MVCI is not going to be part of the Capcom Pro Tour this year.
Right.
Directly from a Capcom representative, right? It's not just rumors, apparently.
Right.
It's just like, it's not going to be there. So not only is it not going to be at Evo, but this is like seriously like kicking someone when they're down or beating a dead horse at this point in time. Like, now it's not even going to have a Pro Tour, nothing. And then, on top of that, there was this weird rumor. I hate addressing rumors, but people saying, like, the game is not even going to be supported past 2018 or something like that.
Whatever.
But, okay.
I don't care about these rumors.
Okay.
Also, that post was edited from something that was utter nonsense into.
Oh, really?
I don't think it's worth
Okay. Fair enough.
But
I didn't do any history. I didn't do any research into that. So yeah.
But definitely
the no
fact
Pro
that it's
Tour
not
thing.
There's no Capcom Pro Tour for it. That sort of lends credence to the idea that there's a publisher or licensor issue that even they're not going to do it, because it doesn't take much logistically to run an event for Capcom Pro Tour. You just say, hey, Combo Breaker, can we have this be part of the series?
Right.
There's not a ton of logistics involved. I don't want to make it seem like it's nothing, but it's not so big that they wouldn't do it if they could.
Right.
I believe.
Right. See, that's why I have that conspiracy theory, because there's no reason not for them to do that unless it was just like, oh God, we got to deal with all this Marvel stuff.
That's what I think too.
So I don't know, but a lot of people are also like, every time I try to bring that up, I'm always like, I feel like this is more Marvel's fault than anything. But then everyone always yells at me for being a Capcom apologist and stuff. But it's just, I've had history with Marvel back at Marvel Superheroes, the arcade game. Game Fan Magazine. I worked on them with a guide, and they sent it in, and it came back just marked up to death, and it never got published. Right?
Oh, Marvel marked it up.
Yes, Marvel marked it up because they were so picky about everything. This was before MCU. This was before being bought out by the House of Mouse.
Yeah.
So now they are even more crazy and even more like taking credit for everything and very controlling. And so they're even crazier than they were before. I just feel like I'm not trying to be a Capcom apologist. I'm just actually just being like, look, I love Marvel movies. Don't get me wrong. I'm like super hyped for Black Panther this weekend.
Sure.
I can't wait.
Sure.
But at the same time, I know how they are.
Sure.
You know, and I know how much frustration it can be to work with them.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I mean, again, licensing issues were why Marvel 3 stopped getting put on stores.
right. They got taken down for a little bit. Yeah.
So those are my thoughts. I really think that's why I agree with your conspiracy. The rest of the games, I'm sure, will be a blast, but I am bummed that Marvel Infinite's not going to be there. Wizard is here.
Yeah, I know, right?
I figured.
And that's the best thing. It's like the conspiracy theories are awesome in here. But that's why when I sit here and say that I think it's Marvel, I have to say it that, yes, it's a conspiracy theory as well. I will not...
I mean, it is. That doesn't speak to whether it's wrong or not. But
right, yeah. But it's a conspiracy theory, so...
yeah. Anyway, obviously, look, it's not the case that people aren't playing Marvel, and I'm sure that the people in Evo know that, because I know them, and I know they're not idiots. I'm aware of that. So I don't know, man. Again, I don't have any info on that, but that's my thought.
Yeah.
So, Markman did make a tweet that sort of suggested this.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did. That's right.
I don't want to put more into it than there was, but implication maybe. Anyway, there are the games. I'm sure that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing, Waldstein and Tager. Well, sounds like a pretty sick combo. I hope that Tager has like magnetized assist in some way.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Wouldn't that be sick?
Yeah. Like it would have been like Magneto's gravity thing. But now here's the thing, right? So one of the cool things is that Wizard actually did say that they were going to take a stream for the community games, for the side tournament stuff, right? And someone even said, like, could you guys, like, make us prizes too? Almost kind of like, this is not going to happen. And Wizard literally said, that's a great idea.
Right.
I'm going to order extra medals.
Saw these tweets, yeah.
Right? And so, like, remember, Mad Catz used to do a lot of this stuff. The Mad Catz booth used to run a lot of the side tournaments and stream them on the Mad Catz stream, and they provided their booth for the stage and everything.
Right.
Well, one, Mad Catz is gone, right? But two, Markman's on the staff now of EVO.
Okay.
So I feel like maybe they could take that stream and turn it kind of into that.
That would be awesome.
And, I saw some people who are like, Marvel's not at EVO, I'm not going anymore. And I'm like, no, backwards. Go to EVO and, like, really try your best to turn Marvel into this awesome side tournament, And that's true for every game. KOF needs to do this. BlazBlue Central Fiction needs to do this. Pokken needs to do this. They all need to go and try to do that. And, one of the things that drives me the most nuts, and I tweeted about this, is I always see people like, well, why can't EVO just be like Combo Breaker and run 20 games, or Frosty Faustings and run 69 games, or however many games they run, right? Like, but here's the thing, right? And as much as I love all these other events, it's just that when you actually get to the point where you have thousands of entrances in the game, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
You can't run that many games.
Not feasible.
So it's just... Yeah, those tournaments can do that right now because every time they add a game, you get 20 people in there. But for EVO, if you add a side game, you could end up with another 300 people in a side tournament, And so it's not kind of the same kind of thing. Unless you have infinite space, infinite time, infinite money. Do you think EVO should go to 4 days? Do you think it should go to a 5-day event? Right?
Negative.
And so that's where it all comes down to.
Of course, they have to portion things, of course. I don't think that they should have 1 million games. I think they should have a reasonable number. But I don't think it's the case that people need to go to EVO to play Marvel or KOF. There are plenty of other tournaments.
Right.
I don't want to tell somebody that they need to go. That said, Evo is a great place to go to still play against a lot of players.
Right.
Because so many people go that there will be people there who will want to enter a side tournament.
Exactly.
So it's sort of rather than saying that you need to go to Evo because that's what you do or whatever the reasoning is. It's more like I think Evo is a great place to go to still play those games.
That's the main message, right? Yeah. If you want to play Marvel, you can go. There will be a great side tournament there, exactly. And you know what? It could be an epic side tournament.
I'm sure it'll be big.
That's the thing, right? So
yeah. That said, I certainly get why if somebody wouldn't want to go if their game wasn't an official game. I mean, I get feeling, put out by that decision. I understand that. I still think that it's a good place to go to have a strong tournament, even if it's a side game. So.
Yep, agreed.
But of course, there are other tournaments to go to. So there's a lot of choices nowadays.
Yeah, and in fact, some of the other games like Killer Instinct, like Skullgirls, they definitely treat Combo Breaker as their main event.
Right.
Right? So you can definitely do that as well. So
sure.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else to say?
Who will remember a side champion? Man, you should have seen how happy Sanford Kelly was with winning MVC2 last year.
Oh, was he?
Oh, yeah.
Sick.
He was super happy because I think he had come second place like the previous 2 years or something. But he was like, yes, I'm Evo Marvel 2 champ again and stuff like that. He was super happy. So
was he Marvel champ back in the day? I don't remember.
Yeah, he won an Evo.
Oh, he did. That's right. That's right. He did.
Yeah, he won an Evo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, that's the Evo lineup. Do you want to take a quick break before we jump into Blanka and TMNT, or do you want to just...
Let's just do it. You want to just do it?
All right, let's do it.
Cool.
Let's talk about Blanka! Blanka! I wasn't expecting to be announced that fast, so...
Paul be talking about KI. The only issue KI had was that it came out for a system nobody had. That's it. That was the only problem with the game.
Wait, it came out on PC, but that was... Everybody has a PC, right?
Everybody has a PC, so once it finally came out of beta, a lot of people could play it.
Oh, you need the beta phase, right.
But when it was only on whatever the other system
platform. I don't remember
that was the only problem.
That.
Everything else was great.
There was something else before PC?
It was just a beta. It was a long beta.
Weird, okay. I have no recollection of that at all. So.
Never saw it. It came out on Dreamcast. Well, I guess in a way. Anyway. All right. So let's talk about the next thing. So Blanka. Well, we've seen the trailer now, and then today there were a couple of streams that you could see as well. Capcom FighterZ and Capcom Unity both had streams.
Yeah, I was actually, to be honest with you, surprised that he was announced so early. I guess that makes sense. February, that's the right on schedule then.
I think it is.
Oh yeah, you're right. But he's going to be out in like 7 days, if I'm not mistaken. He comes out on the 20th, right? Okay, so he'll be out next week, so we'll have a chance to mess with him. I'll try to mess with him before the stream, so.
We woke up to the trailer yesterday. What do you think about it?
When I saw the trailer, the 2 thoughts I had was, I can't tell how he plays a neutral, because, look, 3 thoughts, right? I can't tell how he plays a neutral. 2, he looked like Blanka, like moveset, right? And that made me sad. Because I was really hoping they would change him because I hate his moveset because it's impossible to make this guy either like middle because I think he's either going to be too good or sucks, right?
Okay.
And 3, his V-trigger 2, I saw him pinballing around. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's so funny because when I saw it, I was just like, what? Come on. It's just Tal Bane. What are you doing?
Right, yeah. I would just Tal Bane. But
the beast gets to go, whir, whir, whir. Okay, got it.
It was cool.
It looks cool. It does look cool.
But, yeah, and then I started seeing the streams today and everything, and so I saw some footage. There was the Winner Stays On stream, and then later on, Harrison, they had some stuff. I watched little bits of the Winner Stays On. I didn't get to watch much of the US stream with Harrison on there, but he looks kind of good to me.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of the stuff from London as well. I didn't watch any of the stuff from California, though. Randomly, London was better for my lunch break.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, I am intrigued by how he plays. First, I just want to talk about how he looks. I think he looks really bad.
Do you think the
graphically?
Do you think the animations look bad, or do you think it's just the model looks bad?
Also bad.
Oh, you don't like the model either?
Neither one.
Huh? Okay.
So, weirdly, I think his silly story costume where he's dressed up in the outfit is his best looking one. Because in that one, it kind of hides, it's so janky that you're like, okay.
Right. It's a genius costume.
It's great. It's hilarious.
It's so trolly.
It's very trolly, which fits the character. I love it, but yeah, I think his animations are just real weird.
It's interesting because there's definite feeling that whatever studio or whatever animators are doing season 3 are definitely not as strong as the ones that closed out season 2.
I agree with that.
Because Sakura and Blanka both have this weird, fluidity problem. It doesn't feel like they have weight behind their attacks. They look kind of rubbery.
I'm with you. There's something weird there. I don't know how to describe it really either. It's hard for me to put into words because it's hard for me to identify it. But there's something in there that I just don't like. I see people in the chat who like him, which is great.
Yeah,
I'm very happy for you. But I think he sucks.
I think his model looks pretty cool. Yeah. I'm not opposed to the model. I just think when he does the knee and stuff like that. But to be fair, he looked really ugly and janky in 4 too.
Oh, maybe the worst in the game. Horrible looking character.
So you know what? I mean, to be fair, this is still a massive improvement.
Well, I agree with that. He was horrible in SF4. Maybe the worst. It was in my view, it was him or Zangief were the worst looking.
Right.
In that game.
Or Dhalsim maybe too.
Sim was a little funky too. Yeah. Not the prettiest couple of games here, in my view. So. But hey, people will disagree with me, which is great.
Yeah. But then,
just my view.
Dude, Street Fighter 4 is not an ugly game. You need to go back and look at it again.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, every time I go back and look at it, the craziest thing is I look at Akuma and he's just janky position, and I swear their legs are so stubby. I looked at Akuma and it's his torso is this big and his legs are this long. I don't know. I was just looking at it, I was what's wrong with Akuma in this game?
I mean, in 2008 when it came out in the arcades, it didn't look good.
Right?
It's not like it looked good and then the graphics got ahead of it and just didn't keep up. Mm-hmm. I never thought it was pretty. I played that game a lot, but I never thought it was.
When Street Fighter 4 first came out, I was these pictures. I was always this looks terrible. And then when I played it, I was okay, the game is better in motion. It's not as terrible as I thought, but it's never gotten better than that, So
Geef, his SPD recovery puppet was horrible. But he looks like a rock. He doesn't look like a muscular person. He just looks like he's a stone.
Yeah.
And his movement is just all.
That's what I mean. I actually like Blanka's model. I actually think he looks. I kind of like the new look of Blanka. What's weird to me though is that he talks.
Didn't he always talk?
He's never talked before.
I'm pretty sure he has talked.
When has he talked?
I'm pretty sure he talked in SF4. I think so.
His Twitch viewers, stream warriors.
Even in SF2, he said stuff in the dialogue. He wasn't just making noises.
Oh, well, I mean, he had text.
Yeah, text.
But he never had any voice acting. He never was I have the rage of the bar.
I'm pretty sure he talked in 4.
Did he talk in 4? Blanka talks in SF Cross Tekken.
Is that what I'm thinking of? I really think he talked in 4, folks, but.
He talked in 4. Okay, so people are saying he talked. I just don't remember him talking in 4. I guess it's so weird.
Yeah,
I have no recollection of that. I have no recollection of that. So
yeah.
In 4, he said, "You'll never survive in the jungle after winning a round." I don't know if I've ever heard that.
You probably have.
Unless he went, and I just assumed he was.
To me, it sounds like just the same voice.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. And
I really think he did. So anyway, well, I'm glad some of you folks like how he looks. That's good to hear at least. Gameplay. What?
I think he looks super good.
Do you? Okay.
Dude, nobody can seem to punish the jab ball unless you're Balrog dash punch, right?
I think it'll be like how it classically was.
Yeah.
In every game, really.
Right.
Some characters can't punish jab ball, and those characters have to respect his neutral game. Mm-hmm. People who can punish jab ball just ruin him. It's not always the case. He beat Dalsum in SF4, even though Sim could easily punish all the balls. Mm-hmm. Not always the case, but that's like a general rule. So whatever, that's to be expected. I think that he plays differently than many other characters in the game, which I'm excited for. I don't think that he plays the same sort of mid-footsies game that a lot of characters want to get involved in. I don't think he plays that game.
Because he's one of the only pure charge characters in the game right now, right?
There's a few.
Is there?
Yeah,
Bison
like
still has
Bison.
Psycho Inferno. Oh, I guess Guile for sure. Because Guile only has 2 special moves. But even Balrog has the upper.
I guess.
You know, but I mean, I guess the only one that Blanka has is the command throw.
Command throw
that he has.
Yep. So I feel like he doesn't want to get engaged in footsies because they don't look that good. I guess we'll see when we actually get our hands on them, but they didn't look great. That said, from a little bit further away than that, he can go in close really well. Like he can sort of stab with the slide really well, as always. He can do parabolic ball into now he's plus, and on hit he gets an actual combo out of it. Like it actually matters, you know, which is great.
Beast roll is actually a move.
Actually useful. His regular jump looks terrible, but the coward crouch into command jump looks a little bit faster than that.
They said on Capcom Unity that everyone can punish jab ball, so I guess you just have to find what the punish is.
Okay.
Unless they mean like, you can always punish it if you have your critical art.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah. Or like in the corner. Or whatever, I do. They said something like -17, I think. It was a lot. So, anyway, I like the fact that he doesn't play that neutral game. Instead, he sort of wants to get going from further away, and then once he's in close, he has a bunch of advantage stuff with Rainbow Ball,
Electricity.
A bunch of his normals are plus on block. Electricity is plus on block. He has side hop mix-ups. His command grab is in there too, and command grab works from far away. So I like that he's not in the same zone everybody else is.
I just know that there's so much salt from Blanka's command grab from Alex players.
Oh boy.
Because it looks so much better than the stun gun headbutt.
Yes.
And it's not a charge move.
Yes.
They're probably like, why can't Alex have this?
He continues to be a confusing character.
Right.
What his role in is in the game is unclear.
I feel the same way about Cammy Hooligan not grabbing low people and then watching Birdie Dolphin dive everybody all day. I'm like, really?
For sure. So, I think that his gameplay actually looks more interesting than I expected. I thought that I would not care for it, just based on how he's played historically. But, no, I feel like he's a little stronger. It kind of reminds me of ST Blanka, or maybe, SF2 Blanka generally, where he's not like a footsies monster, but at his jump range, he's strong. He can slide under fireballs there. He can jump with some good normals.
Super good.
I meant in Super Turbo. And then in Super Turbo, once he gets close, he's really strong too. So he's not like in this mid-range, but he can attack from further or up close. And I feel like they did that again with SF5 Blanka.
Right.
Like it's a clear callback to me to that, which I like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I have a concern about is that he sucked in ST, right? He was
not
bad.
very good.
He was bad in that game, right? And so I don't think he's going to be bad. Like, I actually think he might be super good in this game, depending on how punishable the Blanka ball is. Okay, we'll have to see that. But he definitely has a lot of, like they showed with his V-Trigger 1, it's like super easy to confirm into his critical art and stuff. So, I'm curious to see how he's going to be. I'm still scared because Blanka's inherent game design, I feel like, makes it so that he's either too good or he's really terrible. And so if everyone can counter the jab ball, he's going to be terrible again. But
I don't think that's going to be true this time. I feel like he has enough other stuff that just horizontal ball is not going to be
okay. I hope so.
as important. I mean, in matchups, if they exist, where people can't punish the jab ball, he's going to be stronger, of course. But I don't feel like it's going to be, the case that if you punish it, then you beat him. So, I feel like he has other stuff. I like how he looks.
Okay.
Gameplay-wise.
Okay.
Gameplay-wise. But if I play him, I will definitely always use that costume.
That costume?
For sure.
I said is like single-handedly the most amazing and also unsettling thing at the same time. Like, I don't want to ever fight against it, but I think if I played Blanka, I could never not use it.
Yeah, definitely. How could you not?
That's the only thing. Dude, like, they probably made... Because the thing about it is, if you play Blanka, you're a troll. Like, I feel like that's just true. Like, people who play... I mean, it's like Lapchi, right? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, right? You just have to have... And so, like, that costume was, like, perfect for Blanka.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I just feel like that's exactly... Although Vi was like, they should make a plush costume for everybody
They
now.
should. That'd be great.
You're right? Yeah. It'd be kind of weird.
That'd be so sick.
Yeah.
Imagine Abigail. So, yeah. It would be so sick. Yeah, man. We'll see. Again, coming out next week.
Yeah, so very, very soon.
Anything else to say on that guy?
I mean, he looks cool fighting Victor over there.
Street Fighter versus Dark Stalkers.
That's right.
Victor von Gerdenheim. Jimmy Blanka. Is that canon? His last name is Blanka? I thought that was like a...
I thought that was just a nickname for the monster. Yeah. Like, it seems weird to me to have to call his mom Mrs. Blanka.
Yeah, is that right?
I don't think that's right.
I don't know.
They had to put a full name in there.
Sure, sure.
Okay. Enough about Blanka, and let's do a quick impression on TMNT.
Ooh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are out for Injustice 2.
I have not had a chance to mess with them yet.
Okay, I did.
Okay.
First of all, I think that they look good. I like how they looked in the game.
Okay.
I mean, you know, I agree with you that some movements in Injustice are like not the greatest in the world, for sure. But I do think that their models look really good.
Oh, yeah. The thing about it is Injustice models all look really good.
Yeah.
They've all always looked very good. It's the animations I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
You know?
But I feel like the little punchy kick things kind of make more sense for the turtles than some other characters. So I like how it looks.
I'll tell you right now, the one move that I saw that I was really frustrated with, which I'm sure everybody else is like, that's my favorite move.
Yeah.
I think it was when Donatello like grabs you and like twirls you and throws you or something. Like I saw that and it just looked so Mortal Kombat to me. And
For sure.
Like it totally looked like something like Cabal would do to you or something like that.
Probably just like it. Probably just exported the Cabal thing or imported. There are some moves that I think are a little janky looking. Like they have a Blanka ball basically, and they also have like Kano ball out of the air. And those spins are a little weird looking. I would say. But anyway, other than that, I think that they look good. Okay. So the way that it works is that there is one character, the TMNT, and then you pick the other ones by equipping different gear.
Right.
And the gear is just the weapon.
And by default, you have all 4 gear. Like, they come with those gears. So you actually have to save the loadouts for each different weapons to be able to pick them, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Right?
You have to go into character customization and select the different loadouts and select the different weapons.
By default, which one is it?
Leo.
By default, it's Leo.
By default, it's Leo.
Okay, so he starts with the katanas, and you have to create the loadouts for the sai, the nunchuck, and the bow staff.
Correct,
basically.
correct,
okay.
Yeah. And you can only create 3 loadouts by default until you increase your level with the character. So, you know, you pick your 3.
Right,
They all have a lot of similar moves. There's a lot of crossover in normals between the different characters and specials too. They have a lot of the same stuff. But then they each have buttons on like back 1 and back 2, a couple other things, where they bring in their weapon. So those are like the differentiators, right?
Okay,
so like Donnie and Leo have like far-ranging moves, right, in footsies, and then Raphael's is like a short stab. You know, it's like much closer range. So that's kind of how they did the weapons variation.
That's the other one I didn't like too. When Raphael stabs you with the sais and someone jumps off of it or something. Like, I don't know. I think all the stabby stab that they do in Injustice feels too Mortal Kombat to me.
I'm sure it's
like
heavily
when Robin
influenced.
Stabs you and jumps off the sword and kicks
right,
you. Like,
yeah.
The stabby stab stuff doesn't fit for. But anyway,
okay, all right.
That's a whole other story.
So they each have a couple of special moves that are different. Like Raphael has a little like low attack where he spins on his shell.
Someone says that in tournament mode they are just options you pick in character select.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
So you pick TMNT, the slot, and then you select which character.
Okay,
it's a thing that comes up.
Nice.
So Leo has like hitty hit with the sword special move, and and Mikey has the shell hop and whatever.
Okay, so they do have
they all have special moves
well.
that are different as well, and their traits are all different.
Right.
So,
oh, really?
Yeah, the traits are all different. So Leo's is that he calls in each one of the other turtles to do different things.
Okay.
Donnie is an overhead, Raph is projectile, and Mikey comes in on his skateboard, and it's a low. So you know all these different things.
Okay. So he has assist.
He has assist basically.
Leo has assist.
And Donatello puts out like traps on the ground. One of them prevents you from jumping. One of them sucks you into the sort of vacuum of it.
You mean a capture state?
No. I mean it's more like black hole from Faust.
Oh,
You're
really?
Just, you're constantly being sucked into it.
Okay.
Raphael is basically Catwoman.
So his sucks then?
His definitely is the most boring. but even worse, it doesn't just automatically build up. He has a special move that you do that increases the hits on it. Garbage. That's okay. For sure.
Okay.
And then Mikey's is that he gets on his skateboard and he either tosses it at you as a projectile, or you can cancel it, or he has an overhead and a low, something like that. Like he has different tools.
Okay.
So basically, Leo is like the footsies guy. He's Aquaman. He's footsies.
Right. Range.
Safe pressure. Yeah, range. He's the good one. Then Donatello has some range too, but some problems, backdashable strings and whatnot. Raph, I think, is probably pretty bad.
Really?
He has a counter, and he has the get hype special move, which is the like increase my trait thing. And Mikey is like a mix-up character up close. So I mean, they're all different characters for sure.
Yeah.
But I definitely think Leo is like clearly the best.
Yes.
Only time I've ever said that. Only context I'll ever say that, for sure. Only in video games.
See, he's the only one who can get all the turtles to work together. That's why he's the best, right?
Well,
that's why he's the strongest, because he can get the team working.
Right. Yeah.
All the other guys are fighting by themselves outside of a few certain things, but Leo's like,
you're right, man.
Leo's like, you know what? Come on in and help me.
Yeah.
And that's why they're the best.
No, you're right.
Because he's the leader, dude.
And each one of the assists is on its own cooldown. So like you can do like Raph, and you can do Donatello overhead, and like you can
see. There you go.
Yeah. He's safe on everything. Like he has Aquaman like mid-range normals into Trident Rush. Like he has exactly the same option.
Okay. Does he have endless screw? Like that's the most important thing.
What's endless screw?
In TMNT FighterZ, that was his Zangief spin.
Oh yeah,
endless
that's right.
Screw.
No, he does not.
That name of that move is
didn't know the name of it, but yeah,
that's what he says. Just like Moron Crusher.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Of course, this is Aura Crusher.
Yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah.
No, that's
exactly what it was called, Spike. Trust me. Never get over that name.
So I'm a little bit bummed in the sense that I feel like the other three are underwhelming.
I feel like they did that because Leo was kind of the default, or
honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, they're playable now. I do think that Leo is fun. I don't think he's boring like Aquaman because he has the assists that you can use in like pressure and safety and tricky tricks. So I don't think that he's boring, but man, I hate that he's the best one. Bummer.
I love it.
Bummer.
I love it.
Anyway, check it out.
So that means I definitely need to go play some Leo then.
I played him online today for a little bit. And of course I was only playing Leo, and I was basically only doing back 1-2, which is like his big footsie string. Was it back 1-2 into stabby stab, whatever, Trident Rush.
Well, I mean, were you only fighting turtles online, I'm sure?
A bunch of people were just playing the turtles, definitely.
I'm sure you were just fighting mostly turtles.
You know what's funny is every time I fought a turtle, I would start out as Leo, and another guy would start out as like Raph or Don or whatever. And then when I beat him, they all switch to Leo. Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Oh man, Sonic Fox is doing work with Donnie, huh?
I think if I were to rank them, I would say Leo then Donnie.
Okay, because he's got traps.
Yeah, I do like the traps. Yeah, the fact that he prevents you from jumping is really good for sure.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Well, there you go.
Alrighty.
All right, well, let's take a break then.
Yep.
And when we come back, we will go into some of the results from this weekend and talk about a bunch of the fighting game news that we have. So, all right, be right back, guys.
Hey, all right, welcome back to the Tuesday show. I was eating salad with noodles.
Soba noodles.
And egg.
There was egg in there?
Yeah, there's egg.
Dang. Well, I mean, noodles and egg. That's like the two things that we both know.
They're so good.
Like to eat. Yeah, exactly.
How do you go wrong with that? Anyway, what do we got? What's
I still remember the one time we were talking about eggs on Twitter, and some people were like, I don't like eggs. And I was like, how do you not like eggs? And I was like, one of the greatest sounds in the world is listening to fried eggs on a pan. And Gibby sent me a video clip of him cracking a bunch of eggs into a frying pan, and it was like the greatest video ever.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Should get into the ASMR game.
Shoutouts. Uh-oh, audio on the right side again. The audio is messed up again. I don't know what happened here. Let's see. I didn't touch anything unless it's a cable connection.
Loose connection?
Loose connection.
You don't like eggs, but why?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Let's see if it fixes itself. Oh, yeah, it sounds like it fixed itself somehow. Dude, I don't know.
No, I should eat more often.
Okay, in any case, yeah, you can put an egg on everything. Yeah, you can. So, yes.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Anyway, what's up? Strong Style happened. It was a Tekken tournament up in Northern California.
Mm-hmm.
It's been going on for a long time. Well, they took a little bit of time off of it, and it's back now. Tekken is, of course, really big now. It's resurged very well, and it was cool to watch. Did you see any of it?
I only got to see small parts of it, but I didn't get to see. I had friends in town this weekend, so I was unable to watch it, unfortunately.
Well, I watched a bunch of it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And I am definitely no Tekken expert, but I thought it was a lot of fun. You know, they did jump-off style commentary. Four people at the same time, switching back and forth between feeds, which is a lot of fun. A lot of fun to watch. The switching, I thought, was maybe like too fast sometimes. Like if somebody loses, I would like to see like their reaction before switching away.
Yeah.
But awesome otherwise. And it looked cool. I mean, it seemed like everybody was having a good time. Matches were all super sick. USA actually did pretty well.
Yeah, foreigners were just JDCR and Saint. Were they the only?
There were a couple more than that, but they didn't do as well. So.
I heard there was also a Tasty Steve soundboard or something.
Yeah,
like
that was great.
I didn't get a chance to see any clips of that yet. So
it's just exactly what you would think. It's just his classic clips.
Oh, that's so sad. Like, John Ding was there. That's right.
John Ding was there. Yeah. There were a couple others too.
But Saint did not make top 8. He did not make top 8. He was defeated by Shadow, I believe, and then who was the one who sent him to losers?
I don't remember.
Might have been Jimmy Tran.
I think I heard that.
Jimmy Tran, dude.
Yeah.
Jimmy Tran.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple Europeans were there. Fergus played super well, for example.
Okay,
that was really cool. You got the results over there?
I can pull them up right now. Sorry,
okay.
I was not prepared.
You had that.
I thought I did too. Which 10? Strong.
Yeah, Rixta played well. That was wild.
To Rixta? Yeah, I saw he got 4th place, didn't he?
Crazy.
No, good job to Rixta, dude. Good job to him. That's not it.
All right, well, I'm just going to bring it up while you have
Here it is.
RAM issues. Okay.
No, it was the wrong tab. That's all. Okay, so in 7th place was Shadow, 20 ounce, with Claudio, and Jackler Pancho with Jack 7. 5th place was Walker Gaming's BKC with Brian, and VS Trungi with Geese. 4th place was Rick's 20Z. It's 20Z. Oh, sorry. I just called it 20 ounce. Okay. 4th was Rixta with Akuma. 3rd place, UIU's Peeling with Xiaoyu. 2nd place, Jimmy J. Tran with Brian Fury. 1st place, Echo Fox JDCR with Dragunov. And again, Saint, John Ding were both at this event. Neither of them were able to make top 8.
Yeah, that's right.
Good job.
Yeah, USA did well.
Yeah,
for sure. So Jackler, apparently old school Jack player from forever ago, from Japan, and still doing really well. I got to say, like everybody in there played well. that said, JDCR was like miles ahead. It was crazy to watch how much he controlled, even against Jimmy, who had beaten everybody else. Like Jimmy mauled almost everybody, and then when he played against JDCR just had total control. It was crazy.
That's so crazy. Yeah, but shout outs to Jimmy, dude. God, that guy is.
He played super well, definitely. Peeling played really well. That was cool. Rixta, like, beat a lot of players and made a lot of good decisions. But man, that dude missed like every combo.
Peeling?
Rixta.
Oh, Rixta.
Yeah,
okay,
like every combo.
I also saw him like teleport 3 times in a row at one point.
That's true. That was a little wild. But yeah, he played well. Other than that, this thing's screwing up. The audio's still screwing up.
Yeah, the audio is kind of weird, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So yeah, fixed it for like 1 whole second or something like that. I don't know what's going on with these things. Oh well. Okay. Well, I think it's actually okay again. All right.
Okay. But yeah, dude, JDCR's control and offense was incredible. Like he was able to get people towards the wall or bully them however he wanted, just immediately.
It's crazy too, which is because JDCR didn't win Evo, right? And wasn't there another tournament where he didn't do as well? Evo Japan, besides Evo Japan,
Tekken World Tour Championships thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he still got
he did
like
well,
top 3, right? So, but yeah, that guy is he's on another level with that
super
game.
Good.
I feel like than anybody else. So super
good. So I thought that was really cool, and especially very cool still for there to be a Tekken only tournament. And for it to be really well attended.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah, well attended, well produced as well.
Well produced.
And it's just a good sign to people. I mean, I saw a lot of comments where they really appreciated how it had a very grassroots feel.
Yeah.
And that the event felt different than other events. And I think that's great, and I think that needs to happen more often. You know, I kind of felt that same way when I was at Frosty Faustings. You know, I really liked how that event felt. It felt like this cool.
Sure.
It had a really nice energy and a good vibe to it, and I'm sure that's what Strong Style felt like. But not only that, but it was also dedicated to one game, and it was just a lot of good things, you know, to learn from that kind of event. And I think that's important, you know, in this time when everyone feels like, oh, well, you know what, if you're not at Evo, the blah blah, like you can, like let's throw a MVCI only event, you know what I mean?
There was a versus,
right?
It was like 3 weeks ago,
right? Exactly. So let's keep doing stuff like that.
For sure, dude. Okay. Now, just to note, there was also a big Tekken tournament going on in Japan, which meant that a few of the players who may have gone to Strong Style were there instead. So,
gotcha.
Shout outs to USA, but like not everybody was there. So,
yeah, but JDCR,
really cool,
Saint, and John Ding. I mean,
no, for sure, very very strong international competition.
Right.
And dude, I thought that was awesome to see Fergus do as well as he did too.
Dude, it's funny too because Flotas in the chat says like Tekken is such a watchable game. I've never played and watched most of this tournament. Dude, trust me, that is just Tekken 7.
It was not always like that. I mean, maybe for this person that would always be like that, but in general, for a lot of people, it was not considered particularly watchable unless you really did understand it until Tekken 7.
Yeah, Tekken 7. I don't know what happened, but it's just like it's so beautiful.
It's great.
The slow motion is great.
It's great.
And like I said, they just chose a lot of great ideas for presentation and stuff. So it's definitely different. So
for sure, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
But
shout outs to little extra shout out to Bronson Tran, of course. You know, he's not the only guy doing this, but you know, he was the person who kind of did Strong Style a long time ago, and you know, it's always good to see the old veterans still doing stomping around. You know,
he entered the tournament and he did not do as well as he had hoped.
Yeah, I mean.
No, he's a good player still.
I know.
And at the end, you know, he got up on the stage with the mic and he was rambling. You know, just Bronson, whatever. Just I don't even know what he said anymore, but he just was saying words up there.
And it felt like he was just making stuff up and he had no idea what was going on.
Absolutely
and he was
correct.
Being completely like off the cuff and stuff like that.
100%. In fact,
Bronson, insanely, really?
Yes. No, I mean it's such in keeping with how he is.
Yeah.
He went up there and they were still apparently doing the team tournaments. They had not finished when the grand finals of the singles had finished, and so he was just like into the mic, "Hey, should we put the team tournament up on the main stage? We should stream it. Hey, do you think we should stream it? and then the stream goes back to Eris and Rip, and Eris is like, I don't know if we're going to put it up here or not. All right, I'm being told in my ear that we're not going to stream it after all. Just whatever.
Dude, it's awesome.
Classic for sure.
Great stuff. Okay. Also this weekend, which I had no idea was even happening, I just remember Hi Fight like tweeting out highlights of it, and I was like, wait, what the, huh? And Tokaigi happened this weekend.
Yes.
And that was a Street Fighter V tournament with a bunch of Japanese players there.
Yeah, and with a bunch of money on the line, because that's how, it's from the esports thing, whatever it's called.
You heard about that.
I did.
Money, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So they were promised, well, the players ended up getting all the players
stuff.
Did
they? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But in any case, first place got 2 million yen, second place got 1 million yen. Right, that's a ton of money. Third place 500,000, fourth place 200,000. But again, this is for people who have the esports license in Japan, which meant that no Momochi and no anybody else.
Right.
Yeah, no spoiler. Right, like no up and coming rando.
No Powell. No.
Exactly right. Dude, that's such a good case because that guy did awesomely at Evo Japan. Just plays online, came out, and he's a great player because he just can't travel. And because he can't travel internationally, now he can't play in Japan. Oh, I hate it so much. But anyway, that's how it's going. And, a lot of very strong players were there. Basically all the players that you think of, more or less, with the exception of Momochi. So
what did we get for results here?
We got the top 4 finals day, which was fourth place being GGP Kazunoko Kami, third place Fudo with Armika, second place Gachikun with Rashid, winner, DNG Itabashi Zangief with Abigail. You're right, bub. Grand finals was a reset. Itazan beat Gachikun 3-2 and then 3-0.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So he figured something out.
That's for sure, dude. He played really, really well.
Okay.
Yeah, just awesome spacing. And, he is always such a good player. And then you give him Abigail. I mean, like, as strong as anybody thought Geef was in last season, definitely Abigail's better than that.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. So,
do you still feel like Abigail is going to be a problem this season, or
I don't think
he's just going to be a good character?
Yeah, a good character. I don't think he's overpowered, but I wouldn't have buffed him. I can tell you that. I thought that was a mistake.
Dude, I felt like the two of us were always just like, dude, Abigail's so good. And
right, from launch.
Yeah, and then everybody else was like, what's wrong with you guys? Abigail's clearly terrible. And I was just like, there's like no way this character can be bad.
He was obviously good the whole time.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
well. Anyway, so as a result, Itazan won 2 million yen, which is $20,000, more or less.
But
That's a lot.
I did read. I thought someone posted up that there was a mix-up that they weren't going to get paid anymore or something like that.
From what I read, that money was supposed to sponsor the event in general, but the money that goes towards the players did get through.
Okay, but then that means everybody who ran the event and everything.
Yeah, I mean, definitely somebody's screwed.
They just took this big old loss now just to run the event. Basically,
as far as I know, but again, I'm not an expert. This is what I've read on Twitter. Fubarduck was retweeting some stuff about it. So let me know if that's wrong or if anybody has more information on that. But that's what I've read so far. Again, I think this super sucks. I'm happy for those players, those 4 players out of that 20, to win as much money as they did, because that is a lot of money. But for everybody else, it sucks. And it's one of those artificial systems that just gets placed in and decides who gets to make money or appear or have a say in a community. And God, it sucks a lot. I'm really thankful that Momochi is fighting against that. And it doesn't seem like that's working out great for him right now, but I am really happy that he's doing that. I think that's the right fight.
Something out, like hope you can exact some sort of change, because it's an annoying thing to have to happen, because you're basically creating that exclusive club.
Right.
You're creating exactly what the fighting game community has been so good not having to deal with.
Exactly right.
You know, like, sure enough, you know, you go to a lot of the other esports tournaments, because the games last longer, you know, you can't have a full 1,000 people enter for one weekend and stuff like that, right? So you end up in a situation where you, like Hearthstone tournaments, right? You get the 16 players that, like, you know, maybe people want to see or whatever like that. And you can kind of do that. But fighting game community has always been about, you put up a quarter, you have your chance to play, right? So you put in your entry fee, you're in the tournament. And if they continue the system, that just means all those people who aren't licensed have no motivation, because if they win, they can't get any of the money.
What does it matter?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess they could do it for pride, but still...
But there's, I mean, not to say that I think any of them will stop playing, but I don't want to have any limitation on who can do things.
Yes.
I want it to be open, and I want it to be merit based, and this is not that. This is picking and choosing who gets to do that.
Now, granted, they did base it off of the CPT points from last year.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's
not out of nowhere, of course. But if they had done that in, before SF5 came out, you know, I'm thinking of players like Moke would not be in this. Where would Daikoku be? Let's see. What do we got? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of folks who are established, of course, but Kichipamu, there are a lot of players who would not be established. Machobo was in this. Machobo has been a great Guilty Gear player forever, but would he be licensed? Is that enough to get him a license to join this competition? Because keep in mind, it's not just that they pick which players; it's that they pick which games.
Right.
Whose players would be allowed to have the license. So part of why those Tekken players didn't come was that they had to enter a tournament in Japan that would give them the winners a license. The top 4 got a license to be esports pros in Japan. That's terrible. I feel like that's like the
So the reason
horrible.
So Hi-Fi says the reason Ono agreed to this is because they don't have to change anything. All tournaments will be the same except additional pro tournaments. I guess I'm not sure what that means necessarily.
Yeah, I mean it can't mean that Evo Japan is run in exactly the same way that Evo America is or Evo World is. It's not a everybody pays an entry fee and you take the prize money thing. It can't be like that legally. So it's a big old bummer. I'm happy for the players for making more money. I think that's great, but I wish that it didn't come with a system that limited who could earn money.
Right. That's the main factor.
Sucks.
Right there.
All right.
Well, in any case,
the license and the sort of regulations mean that there can be big cash prizes for players. It's just a stupid runaround. So, it's like the kind of sort of esports monkey paw dream where you're like, hey, I want to have it so that players can earn money, but only 20 players can earn money.
Right. I mean, why is it that they limit the number of people who can do it? Like, can they make just an open application process for these licenses? Or
I have no idea.
Does it cost people money to issue these licenses or whatever? So
not any info I've seen.
Okay.
Oh boy, I would not want it to be like Kespa either. Jeez, corruption town. Okay, anyway. I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities to rant on this in the future.
Yes, because it'll keep coming up again. Let's talk about some events that are coming up. Canada Cup Master Series, which is not the official Canada Cup, the main one that's in October, but this is the Master Series that takes place in Calgary, Alberta. Registration is now open. It's going to be May 11th through 13th, and a lot of the usual suspects there are going to be events of games to play there. Arcade Edition, Rev 2, Dragon Ball Fuzz, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Tekken 7, both Melees, ARMS, Pokken, Ultra Street Fighter 4, and Hearthstone. Hearthstone.
Everybody plays Hearthstone. Every scene plays Hearthstone.
So there you go. So definitely register for that if you are nearby in the area and want to play some cool fighting games in Canada.
Cool.
Also, cool news for the Super Turbo gang in Combo Breaker. They are basically they are boasting a $500 pop bonus for Super Turbo.
Wow.
So which means I got to get in there.
Yeah, you do.
Now that I've had my practice at Hey Arcade, yeah.
For sure.
There we go. But it is going to be a Tournament of Legends qualifier as well, so you definitely want to go there and play. And man, this time, like 99.99% chance I'm going to Combo Breaker this year, and I hopefully I can do some commentary for Super Turbo because that will make me super happy. Also, one of the things that Evo talked about is that they're looking to try to do some new things. We talked about the support for the side tournaments and stuff like that, but they also said that they're going to try to do some new stuff on the Sunday arena layout.
Okay.
Wizards tweet specifically said that they kind of are trying to go to a concert style setup. The floor seats, they wanted to make the floor seats better.
Okay.
Feel more worth it, basically. So they're probably going to like lower the stage because the floor seats couldn't really see much.
Right,
yeah. And stuff like that. So,
well, I assume I've never actually been on the Evo floor. In those.
That's true.
Never actually went down there.
Yeah.
I guess I could have. I just didn't.
Yeah. But so that'll be cool. That'll be cool if they can do something cool and new. And it's always nice to change things up every once in a while. So, in game news, tomorrow, Thursday, I should say. So I got to go onto the ArcLive stream yesterday. That was episode 2.
That's so cool.
The second episode they've ever done, but literally, like, that happened in, like, the span of, like, 2 days. Like, 2 days beforehand, they're like, oh, by the way, would you like to? And I was like, oh, because I was talking to them for completely different reasons. And they were like, oh, but you know what? We need a host for the stream. Do you want to jump? I was like, sure, because I heard Daisuke and Mori were going to be there.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's cool. I want to go talk to Daisuke and Mori. So I got to hang out with them. And, the stream was mostly just to talk about little things about cross-tag battle, nothing too there wasn't going to be any crazy announcements, but that's because one of the things that we were going to get across on that stream was that Thursday is a ArcSys press event, and a bunch of stuff is going to be announced over there. So, Central Fiction didn't have a dub, so a lot of people were kind of frustrated with that, and so they've been asking about BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. And they said officially you'll get an answer on Thursday during this press event. They're going to announce a bunch of stuff. They're even going to announce, I believe, like a new game. I don't think it's going to be a fighting game, but they've got new projects they're working on stuff. So there's going to be a big press conference on Thursday in San Francisco. So that should be pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And they also did a Q&A with Mori and Daisuke where we got to ask him a bunch of questions.
Yeah, that was very funny.
I also got Daisuke to finally sign my Guilty Gear because... when I first got there too, he said, "Nice to meet you," and I was like, "I want to confirm that I have this right." But you were at UCLA I was like, "You were at UCLA a long time ago for the original Guilty Gear." He was like, and through the translator, he was like, he says, "Was that 20 years ago?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, I was like, "Yeah." And I pulled out my Guilty Gear, which I had in my pocket. And I was like, and he looked at it, he was like, "Oh my God," and then I got him to, I swore that he had signed all the copies on that day.
Yeah.
And every time I went back and checked my Guilty Gear, there was no signature on it. And I was like...
You checked multiple times? That's very funny.
Yeah, because I was like, no, I was wrong. Maybe it was here. Maybe it was in the... Maybe it was... And I flipped through the booklet, And so I finally did get him to actually officially sign it, so I'm no longer a liar. So, yeah. But it was cool, though. It was cool, because then they also played that little... Slice, Dice, and Rice game.
Yeah, what was that?
It's a game that's made by a Polish developer. It's being published by ArcSys.
Oh, okay.
And so that's why they had they played it over there, but it's just like a 2D Bushido blade.
Right.
It was actually kind of neat.
It looked kind of cool.
I really like the graphic style on that thing, but afterwards we all got to go out to dinner and stuff like that and hang out and everything. So that was actually really cool. It was a really cool thing. But yeah, the main thing that they wanted to talk about was that Thursday they're going to announce a bunch of new things. So expect that on Thursday.
Sweet.
There's going to be a press announcement from ArcSys. We're going to find out a lot more about, I don't know. They didn't tell me what. Obviously, they couldn't tell me things, but I'm hoping.
That's how it goes.
News about Guilty Gear Rev's new patch, maybe a release date for that. And Mori did hint maybe we'll find out some more about the future of BlazBlue or something like that. So we'll see. We'll see.
I thought it was very funny when you asked him if he's happy that cross tag battle's getting be at Evo. And his response was that he is, but he's also kind of sad that BlazBlue is not going to be there.
Yeah,
I thought that was cute.
I got confused when he said that too, because I was like, Essential Fiction was there before.
Yeah, wasn't it there last year?
Yeah, it was there last year, but he just meant this year it's not there. He's sad about that. So
yeah, no, it was really cool. Especially hilarious was that when they were talking to each other in Japanese, you were still doing the thing that we both do, where we just when the other person is talking, you like look at the camera and you're like, yeah.
And like they would say something and laugh, and I would be like, ha 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 ha. Yeah, I would laugh too, you know. And I'm like,
that was hilarious.
No idea what they're talking about, but you know, I gotta keep doing that. Dude, you gotta do it. Dude, you gotta do it. Get the face expressions like, okay. That one very famous GIF. I can't remember what like it's.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know.
That was hilarious.
Oh man.
All right, well, that was cool, man.
Little funny thing. I mean, I'm just curious what your opinion on this. So Chris T is like on this crusade to get Ken players to stop playing Ken because of Ken's inconsistencies, which is a really annoying term, as Javits has said, because it's not inconsistent because it happens all the time in a consistent fashion. It's just that it's just. I mean, it's essentially Tom Brady, right? It's not functioning as it should be. You know, it's.
What did Tom? Oh,
you know.
I thought we were talking about football first.
No, the other Tom Brady. You know, the ice clone complaints kind of thing, that it's not working as it should.
Right.
You know, but he's like, apparently Chris is on some crusade to get everyone to stop playing Ken, so that way Capcom will actually notice and try to fix things. I even saw Javis tweet out today, like he tagged Capcom and like reworded everything in this direct, like, can you make sure that counter hit back crouch medium punch into back medium punch combos consistently and stuff like that. So I don't know, like,
I don't know, man.
Seems kind of silly to you.
Yes. Well, to be more clear, I think he's absolutely right that if you think that the character is bad or it doesn't work, you should stop playing it.
That's what Javits said, right? Or oh no, you're talking about
Chris's campaign, right?
Yeah.
Like don't play Ken until he's usable.
Right. Yeah.
100% agree with that. I think that is definitely the best way to go for competition, right? To do well if you think that it really is a problem, and maybe more important for your own psyche. So that you're not constantly
exactly
butting heads with the character that you think is so obnoxiously wrong.
So one thing I want to just someone asked in the chat what happened to Julio. Julio actually had hand problems for the longest of times. He had hand injuries from maybe playing games too much, similar to Kudon's. Kudon's had to do that too, right? So that's actually why we haven't seen much of Julio of late.
Yeah,
he actually had some hand issues.
That really sucks.
The frustration that I have is just that, you know, it's not just Ken, right? Like, a bunch of Vega players came in, they're like, dude, Vega's so much jankier, like things just stop working on counter hit, push back and stuff. And, you know, again, like Java said, there's inconsistencies. Games, the one thing that I've always said about fighting games that people have to understand, and this will actually make them better players, is that if you repeat the situation, unless the game has intentional programmed randomness, the same thing is going to happen every single time, right? And that's one of the key things. There's this magical thing where, like, sometimes this happens and why?
For sure.
Like, that's not how it works, right? It's not like you're going to throw the basketball and it's just going to run around the rim and then fall out and you're just like, what the heck kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Unlikely anyway.
Yeah, so fighting games are consistent.
And
that's the thing. It's just that things are not working as you would imagine that they should work.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not even that they're working incorrectly.
Right. Absolutely right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't think that this is cool. Can you please make it so that this doesn't happen, is the best you could say. It's not a mistake. It's not an inconsistency. It's not random. It's a problem that you think should be addressed.
Yeah. No, I think viewing situations as what you believe should happen only really goes so far, and at some point that holds you back because it's harder to look for solutions to problems that you think are solvable by shoulds. Right? They should be different. Yeah, Billy Legs you're funny. God. Yeah, I know. This happened to me while James was talking.
Sorry.
No, I had the same exact reaction you did. Believe me.
Freaking Broly legs, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, so I totally agree with Chris that if he thinks it's a big enough problem, that he should play a different character. I mean, other Ken players have been playing other characters. Momochi plays a couple other different characters.
Like Colleen
Big
now.
Bird, yeah. I mean, they switch around. So sure, I think that's a great call. But I also think that maybe the way of calling for a boycott is maybe like not the most efficient way to do that.
I mean, he's just to stop playing him.
Okay,
that's just what it is. Like,
yeah.
Chris, I mean,
Good.
I don't
think
think you have to do a boycott, but just stop playing him.
Totally, dude. No, I mean, it's clearly hurting him. You know, I mean, it hurts his performance. Whether that's only the character that hurts his performance, not being the strongest, or if it's also the fact that it's just like mentally draining to have to deal with a situation like that constantly.
It is.
Because it is.
Right. I mean, as a former Q player and a former ST Cammy player, like we know. I mean, like when I went to Hey Arcade and I played Cammy, I'm just like, man, if only she had just like these two. This
is happening.
You just what can you?
25 years later.
I know. What can you do?
24 years later.
Time, man.
I remember having conversations when I was playing Third Strike and manning him and competing with him. Remember one time having a conversation with buddies before a big tournament where they said, "Hey, do you think you have any chance to win?" I said, "No, I play Q." And they looked at me and they're like, "You don't feel like you have a chance to win though?" And I was like, "No, because I get it."
Right.
Like that's and like in later years thinking about that conversation, their frustration with me was that I wasn't doing what I could to win. Right? It wasn't like you should think that you can win because even though you're playing Q, like that wasn't like they're not being unrealistic about it. It's like, why don't you give yourself a chance to win?
Right.
And it took me a long time to figure that out. So it's sad to see other people go through it, but I hope they get over it.
Personally, like I do feel like from Chris T's perspective as well. Again, I'm a fan of Chris T. I always want to see him do well
100%.
and everything. And he's always been kind of held back by this Ken thing. Even in Season 1, when Ken was super good, he had a lot of frustrations with Ken, and he would think that a lot of characters had advantages over Ken and everything. I think, if he does just say, you know what, forget Ken, let me go play Abigail, or, you know what, let me go play Rashid.
Yeah.
I think that would actually help a lot of his own personal Street Fighter growth, to be able to experience this game from a different perspective like that. So.
I know that he was playing Ibuki for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's kept up with that, but yeah, I agree, man. I'd love to see it. So, okay. Some team signing, changing newses and stuff like that. Infiltration has left Team Graft. Right.
So now I guess he's a free agent again. But Infiltration jumps around a lot. I mean, he's been on a bunch of different teams, but he just won Evo Japan. I'm sure he's going to have plenty of suitors at this point.
I'm sure he has offers.
Yeah, I'm sure people are coming to courting, so
he'll be all right.
Yeah. But Tampa Bison has signed a contract with Team Czech 6. I don't know who Czech 6 is. The 6 sheep sick. I don't know who Czech 6 is, but hopefully this works out for him. So. And NuckleDo actually talked about how he wants to fly a up-and-coming player from the Florida scene to EVO.
Very cool.
This year, so that's really cool. I mean, we've already seen players do stuff like that. NuckleDo's flown people out before, but it was like a known player, and it sounds like he really wants to send someone who's new this time.
I think that's super awesome. Yeah. We've seen Justin do that as well. I think players like them have, in a sense, made it. They have sponsors or... I guess NuckleDo may have a sponsor that pay them well, and they win a lot of tournaments or get money. They get money from tournaments too. So they give back to other players. I think is really admirable. I love that.
Okay.
I guess Daigo has done that as well. It's
By the way, so Cam Attack says that Czech 6 is an old school esports team, mostly for games like Counter-Strike.
Oh.
And I guess they used to sponsor Anakin and Just Frame James for Tekken, according to Shatrian Talon. If that's true.
Huh.
Okay. Good stuff.
Yeah, didn't know.
Okay, cool. Also, Core A Gaming recently put out another video about EVO Japan, just like a little bit of a quick view of EVO Japan. Core A Gaming, of course, recently has gone to content creation full time.
Yeah.
So, definitely shout outs to him. Support him as much as you can. I got to talk with him at Evo Japan. In fact, I'm in the video. He got to interview me and stuff like that. So, last thing too is that in the realm of new controllers, there's a company called Joniphrase. Joniphrase Reviews. There's a new controller called the Mixbox controller, which is basically a hitbox, but instead of actually those buttons being set up that way, they're just WASD.
Yeah.
Yeah, like here, let me...
put it on the screen here? So it's regular buttons, right? The regular 30 millimeter buttons.
Yeah, look at this thing.
Yeah, they're not the small ones.
So there you go. There you go.
Plus keyboard. And it's actually in WASD, like the down is a little bit to the right of the up.
Oh, you're right.
So it's literally the same layout.
There you go. So interesting.
Well, that's kind of weird.
If you've learned to play on keyboard and you want to, I've seen a custom controller like this at Evo before.
Oh, I've known people who play on keyboard or keyboard customizations of sticks since the mid 2000s, for sure. But
hey, if you're a WASD warrior, you know what I mean. That works out for you. I think that's fine.
I just feel like that's like a weird hand situation, but again, that's cool. Everybody likes their own thing,
I've like one of my good friends, when he played keyboard games, he didn't even use WASD. He used WSED. He used like a box of buttons, and he just learned how to have one of them be up or down so he can hit diagonals easier. Like he can do... Yeah, he had a weird setup, but he was really good with it, and it worked out really well for him. Like, horrible. Yeah. Because he kind of played sideways like this. Like he was like kind of like... left, right, and then up, down, so he could... I forgot how it worked exactly. Now I need to go ask him again before I keep messing it up. So, okay, I did not make that up. I swear to God, I have a friend who's like, no, it wasn't just ESDF. It wasn't just move it over. Come on, dude.
Well, I play on ESDF sometimes, or I used to. I guess now I've been playing on WSD because I like having the home button, the whatever it's called, home row, little thing that sticks up there. Yeah. I forget what to call that. But the little thing on the F.
ASDF. That's weird. ASDF is weird.
ASD. Oh. I can see that working out. Anyway.
That's all I have for news. So, anything else that you wanted to talk about? Any other topics you wanted to bring up?
I've been playing Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
And I hated it at first. I thought it was bad. Beautiful game, obviously.
Right.
And the story seemed interesting from the limited amount I had gotten through, but I didn't know that much about it yet. But man, the gameplay just felt non-existent. And whenever there was a shrine to get through, it was like the dumbest puzzle. It's like not a puzzle. It was like explode a bomb in such a way that it would go into a hoop, or none of them have been challenging with the exception of that one, which is just mechanically challenging, not in an interesting way. They've all been really boring.
There's a lot of different variety of those shrines. Some of them are far more challenging. Some of them are good puzzles.
Are they?
Some of them are super straightforward, and it's super obvious what you're supposed to do, but you can tell they designed it in such a way. The early shrines that you run into are going to be a little bit easier because I think they wanted you to get the shrines so that you can power yourself up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely the first ones were omega easy. I guess I've done 14 of them or something. I don't know. And they're all just really, really simple, but...
David just hates characters with swords.
Well done, I don't have a sword right now. All I have is a club and whatever else. My sword broke. Okay. No. I don't mind the things breaking feature. I feel like I'm not playing enough of a game. I'm walking around and hoping to run into something to do, and sometimes I do, and when I do, it's 2 minutes of a shrine, or 2 hours of trying to explode a bomb into the hoop.
Right.
And that's like the... I just stopped. I just gave up on that one. I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Right.
I don't... Look, I love Shadow of the Colossus. People bring that up. Fantastic game.
Right.
I haven't played the remake. I assume it's great. It looks gorgeous. But so anyway, then I went on YouTube and I like watched all the story parts because I was like, I don't care about the gameplay. I just let me know what the story is.
Yeah, there's not much story in the game.
There wasn't a lot of story either.
No, there's not a lot of story. That's not the... I mean...
I kind of come away from it being like, I don't know.
I mean, because the thing about it is the way that I approached it was very much like I love the fact that it was like a modern take on the original Zelda.
Clearly was.
Because you just run around and like you have to figure out what the hell is going on, and there's just so many things to explore, and it's just, for me, the game is just about getting through the map and going to all these different, like, what's here? Like, every time you go to a tower and reveal a new area, and then you see, like, whoa, there's, like, ruins over here, or there's this big crevice over here. What is this labyrinth thing on the map, you know? And, like, to get there takes a little bit of time and stuff, you know? So it felt a lot like the original Zelda. It was the most like that I have played in a game in a long time, which is, like, you're plopped in this world, and they just say, go.
Right.
And they don't care how you find things, what order you find things, and everything like that. And that, to me, is where I really got the enjoyment out of the game.
I get that, and I appreciate it. Certainly it does seem like Zelda 1. But in that game, you are immediately doing stuff. You're, like, avoiding enemies or attacking them. Yeah. Or you're, like, the dungeons are, like, attacking enemies or there's a game,
right? But you haven't done a Divine Beast yet, have you?
Yeah, I did Meadow.
Oh, you did one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was fine. It was like just 4 of them.
Right. So those are the main dungeons, and there's just a bunch of little small.
There's 4 of them.
So, yeah.
You know. So I just.
But I mean,
I'm not saying it's a bad game. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I will admit. At the start of it, there's a little bit of frustration because of the weapon breaking system, and you're like,
I don't care about that.
Get all this stuff. But then also because at first you don't have a lot of stamina, so your exploration factor is kind of low. But like now, I have all sorts of like movement options and things like that, so it's a lot better now, right? So there's a lot more. It's easier to explore. But I guess for me, it's just the fascination of the world, and I'm just excited to like, oh, there's this desert region. Oh, there's a mountain region over here. Oh my God, I see a lake on the map. What's this lake? You know, and
I feel like that. Yeah, no, I get that, but I feel like it's a considerably worse World of Warcraft or Skyrim or whatever games that while you are exploring, you're also playing a video game. There's like more to it than just looking at stuff, which in my experience has been the game so far.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
I just am confused. Maybe is like the reaction. It's like I don't feel like it's bad, but it's not interesting to me, and it's hard for me to square that with the fact that everybody loved it, and when I turned it on, I was like all stoked for it,
right,
you know?
Yeah.
Zelda's one of my favorite series ever, and I was like really excited to play the game finally. I had only got a Switch like 2 weeks ago for Evo Japan, only because we were going to be in the plane for like 13 hours or whatever it was. So yeah, I'm a little bit bummed. A little bummed.
Are you feeling like you're going to try to give it another chance, or are you pretty much done with it at this point?
Yeah, I did the Divine Beast, for example, which was after I thought that it sucked already.
Which animal? Which Divine Beast?
The flying one.
Oh, you did the bird one. Oh, okay, you did the Ruto one. Okay. Cool. Interesting.
It's not for me, man. It's a bummer, but yeah. I loved Mario. Mario is fantastic.
Yeah.
That game is so great. You think it sucks? That I don't get. I feel like that's like some of the most fun gameplay I've had in a long time.
Yeah, Mario. It's interesting because I love both of the games for very different reasons.
They're very different.
Yeah, very different reasons, and that's why it's so cool to me. Like I found 2 games that really speak to me and they're very different.
I'm glad you like it. So that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what got Game of the Year. I remember hearing all the things about Zelda being fantastic. That's why I'm bummed that I clearly there's something that a lot of people like, and I don't see it, and I don't understand.
I actually am a fan of the fact that there's like no, like there's obviously a lot of little small quests that you run into.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that nobody was telling me where to go and what to do, and that that was the video game to me. That felt very video gamey to me, because I remember playing so many games back in the day where you just, like Metroid. You just ran around, and it was like nobody told you what to do.
Yeah.
And you literally just ran around, and at some point in time you're like, oh, I get it. Just explore this whole entire world. Like, there was even a fake crate that you could kill that didn't actually... And nothing told you there was a fake crate, and if you killed it, you thought you killed Kraid, and that didn't do anything. Nobody explained it to you. You know what I mean? Like, I liked that. And it felt... Zelda felt so much like one of those old school games to me, where it was just like, you know what? Here, explore. And I missed that feeling. And that's kind of what it gave to me. And it was,
I think there have been lots of games that play like that, but you may not have played them.
Maybe.
I feel like that's something that I've been playing, or I have played in any case a lot. I like it. It's not that I dislike exploring. I want more than that. So.
Right.
I don't have Splatoon yet. I only have those 2 games for the Switch so far.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it. So
yeah, I'm glad. I wish I saw it. That's why I come away more confused than anything else, because it's weird that clearly a lot of people like it, and it's not often that I try something that a lot of other people like that I think is not interesting. But there you go.
Okay. Well, anything else that you wanted to say? Anything else crazy going on?
Oh, we're going to be at SenCal Standoff.
Not this weekend, but next weekend.
Correct.
That is correct, yes. And that is going to, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of strong Californian players there. Last year when we did it, we had a lot of the top players from SoCal and NorCal visiting there. Like XSK Samurai did really well there last year.
One of the people working on it.
Yeah, Commander Jesse's going to be there. He was there last year, right? Yeah. So, hopefully we'll have a lot of strong Californian players over there.
Street Fighter and Marvel. Also Dragon Ball, I think.
Are they going to do Dragon Ball there? Okay.
I know the first 2.
Okay.
For sure. SenCal. Oh, what is SenCal? Central California.
But the event is called SenCal Standoff.
Yeah, yes. But SenCal is Central California.
Yes.
In Fresno, California, which is more or less in the center.
SenCal.
Oh, dude, I'm having a blast with Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball, I think, is really, really fun so far. It's unique in some ways, but very approachable in others, I would say.
Okay. I haven't had a chance to play.
Oh, you got to play it, dude.
Versus yet. I haven't had a chance to play Versus yet.
I'm not playing well.
Okay.
But I've been tweeting about that on Twitter, and Nerd Josh sent me a DM, and he was like, "Everybody's bad. Like everybody feels that they're terrible at it, except maybe like Sonic Fox, who feels like he's the best at everything.
Right.
But like everybody, it has been telling me that anyway. For me, I think it's true. I think I'm not very good.
It sounds like, from what I've gathered from a lot of people, is that how there's always that stage where you have to learn how to start beating other people who are just hitting buttons.
Yes.
But hitting buttons in this game is a little more powerful than other games. And so it takes a little more effort to get through that level, to get to that point where you can start controlling what the opponent is doing.
Right.
To start limiting the randomness. You know what I mean?
I think that's where I am now. That I've just figured out how to start limiting randomness.
Okay.
Like I always had ideas on how I would do that, but actually making that happen is finally happening.
Okay.
So I'm at that level at least, but there's a lot to still do.
Yeah. I mean, I've only managed to play it for 2 whole days, like 2 small streams.
Oh, you got to play it, man. It's a lot of fun.
Me just trying to find out what characters I wanted to play. Right. So, and then once I figured out which characters I'm going to play, I was just trying to find some B&Bs or just find out. because the one thing that a lot of people I don't think understand about fighting games is once you figure out which characters you want to play, you got to research how you want to open up your opponent.
Right, for
it's
sure.
It's not just like, oh, let's do. So I was like with Tien, I'm trying to figure out what my mix-ups are. I was like, I don't have a lot of good overheads, but with the assists, et cetera, et cetera. So you got to figure out different ways. So the second stream I did was just me trying to figure out B&Bs and ways to open up the opponent, and just like Yamcha, for example, doesn't do any damage. He has like no mid-screen damage without assists, right? And his combos are very limited. He doesn't have a lot of good paths to take solo.
Oh, really?
Right? So he's really about just kind of like continuing pressure and resetting you a bunch of times and stuff like that. So I had to figure that out, et cetera, et cetera. So, I need to go and take the team online, but it's just like...
What's the team? Tien Yamcha?
It's Tien Yamcha and Android 21.
Ah, 21.
Yeah,
okay.
21. So she seems pretty self-explanatory. She looks really good.
She's good, right? Yeah.
She looks really good. So.
Yeah. So I did drop Beerus. Saw people asking about it. I am playing 16-hit Goku Black, which apparently turns out to be Sonic Fox's team. Okay.
I thought you were describing a combo with Goku Black. I thought you were doing a 16-hit combo with Goku.
Nice work.
16-hit Goku Black. Okay.
So I think that team is super good. I think all three of those characters are really good. I think they're good on point and assist. I think all the combinations of it works well, which is really important in this game. And they are interesting. Well, two of them are interesting. Goku Black is beam function to me, but a good character. I mean, obviously strong, good movement, good pressure tools, good anti-air, good damage. He has a lot of stuff. So I'm really having a good time with it. I'm also in the process of learning a defensive zoning heavy team, which I think is going to take a while because I have to sort of figure out how to
Android
beat the
21
randomness
might be
you're
a
talking
good
about.
one to look at.
Right, so Frieza 21 and Adult Gohan is that team. So.
Yeah, it's funny because I tried Beerus because Cat, right? Yeah, and I don't know, Beerus, he didn't do it for me.
I'm so bummed by him.
I mean, there was like some cool ideas with hitting the balls
right?
in these different directions, but it's not what he's about, really.
No, I don't think so either. Unfortunately, those balls go away. They have really low durability. And if he gets hit, they go away. So I don't know. That was a bummer to me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't think Beerus is bad necessarily, but I do think that he's much more about just regular old pressure, great 2M, great couple of good buttons there, good anti-air, but not very interesting. So the zoning team, I think Frieza and 21 are really like the only zoning potential characters.
Yeah.
And I have Adult Gohan DP assist. Just, he's just if I get in a jam.
Is it actually a good DP assist?
So it has startup. It's not immediately invincible, but then either it's invincible or it's beaten everything I've tried.
Oh, okay.
Like I've tried it against like Vanish and stuff or whatever, and just beats all the things as long as it's out.
Okay.
So it seems good. But yeah, again, it's going to take a while to learn that style. If zoning is viable, it's not going to be week 2.
Yeah. What's interesting is that Android 21, I actually feel like is one of the more complicated characters to learn because you can steal all the different powers and then you got to learn all the different stuff.
Right.
I don't know how to use any of that stuff yet. I don't even know what kind of things I can steal yet, but I'll find out. So
all I know is that you can get a ground fireball and a air fireball to help the zoning. And it's
she can also gain like teleports and stuff like that from other people. So it's interesting.
Yeah. She's definitely a cool character. I mean, I like her because I think Frieza is maybe a little bit less powerful when it comes to the non-zoning side of things. I don't think he has much in the way of like pressure tools, but she does. So yeah,
dude, they need to sell an alternate costume for Android 21, turning her back to regular. Except the problem is she fights with the tail. So just make her the regular one with a tail, right? So,
I know. I think you maybe out of luck.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't really get the story on that because like why does she become Majin as an android?
I don't know. I haven't seen the story yet. So
she just does it.
She just does it?
I haven't gone through the whole story mode. Maybe that's explained.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe that's not even a problem. I don't even...
That's true. Within the mythos, it might just be normal.
Maybe it's normal. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah. Dude, a lot of... Are you playing 16?
I'm playing 16.
Yeah, because everyone said... Dude, everyone keeps rating him like the best character in the game.
Yeah, I feel like that's not going to last, but he's definitely very strong.
Okay,
super strong.
Is it grappler syndrome again?
I think there's a bit of that. Yeah, okay. It's like, I mean, he is Hulk with an air dash, maybe.
But okay.
You know, he has armor on stand H, which blows up a lot of stuff. Goes through projectiles. Other ways to go through projectiles, like everybody else too. He has air dash stuff. Like he's a big body grappler without any of the problems of big body grapplers, because he's still
fast,
mobile,
he still has
and
air dash, and everything like that. Yeah.
So I feel like if you gave any big body all those, like, what if Potemkin had air dash and whatever? It's, you know,
oh man,
you know what I mean? And like he has the hard knockdown, which is really strong.
Right.
He has good damage. He corner carries really well. But I think he'll always be good. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Gamma Crush in the air. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. He also, from round start position, can attack most characters with crouching M. So he's like, if you want to jump away from him, he just hits you immediately. Some characters that doesn't work against, though. But for everybody, stand H is like the blow up at the start of the round. Okay. Super strong. Again, I think he's like Hulk with an air dash. So I think he's a lot of fun.
Okay.
I'm really enjoying the game. But, you know, in seeing other people talk about it, I get it's very clearly not Marvel Infinite.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The more I play it, the more I think that becomes even clearer. I never thought it was the same, but...
not even Marvel 3, right?
Yeah, right, no Marvel. It's just not Marvel at all.
Marvel, right.
It's not Marvel, which is great. I want it to be different. But when I think to, like, how people can move in Marvel, it's not like that in Dragon Ball. I think movement is a lot less interesting in Dragon Ball.
Oh, yeah?
Well, just
everybody has crazy movement options, but maybe that's why.
It's more like you have to be dashing.
Okay.
You have to be air dashing. Right. Whereas in Marvel, I feel like things like flight and ground wave dashing open up movement in a way that no other game, no other series ever does. So I think that's a really big difference.
Yeah.
Really big difference. But again, it's a lot of fun. It's a different game, which I think is important.
Which is good.
It's definitely good.
Like, from what I've experienced with it, like, I don't feel like it's an anime. Like, I don't feel like it's a Guilty Gear game.
It's not Guilty Gear.
It's not a Marvel game.
Agreed. It's not Blaze Blue.
It's not Blaze Blue. It's a good amalgamation of everything, which is why I think it's being so successful as a overall. Everybody wants to play this game.
Yeah, man. So. And there's a lot of depth to its mechanics. You know, when people back in the beta were talking about how it had simple combos, it could not have been right. Like things like vanish and super dash and assist, that all allows you to open up your combos so big. And that's what's happening. People are making really, really cool stuff. Yeah, so a lot of fun. Highly recommended to everybody.
Yeah, can't wait to actually sit down and play it. So I just haven't had a chance to play anything. I've been like surprised. Like I was planning to stream it on Monday.
Over, that's right.
Well, I had friends over last weekend. I just got back from Japan, right? Like I was there for an extra week.
That's right.
And then I was supposed to stream a bunch of stuff on Monday, yesterday, and then all of a sudden, like literally 2 days before, I was like, "Hey, you want to do this ArcLive stream?" I was like, "Okay," you know. But I mean, honestly, I hope I can do more of those ArcLive streams.
Oh yeah, that's really awesome, fun. Dude. Yeah.
But the regular host is actually D Pity, who actually does that all the time. So I was like, I know him. Let's go hang out and stuff. So we'll see what happens. So.
Speaking of movement, I really like Hit. That's why I'm playing Hit, because he has such different movement than everybody else. His stand M and stand H are basically teleports that attack. So you can move with him really differently, and he has command dash backwards, and he has command dash that goes to the other side of the opponent.
Oh dang!
He has a stance that makes him fully invincible. Just get rid of things.
Jeez.
He's just a very different character. He's really unique in the game. So he's at the same time he still has air dash and super dash and stuff, of course. So I feel like he's very unique when it comes to movement.
Right.
And he has a command grab that works full screen.
Wait, he has a full screen command grab?
Yeah. Quarter circle back A, whatever that is.
L.
Numbers notation.
214.
Anyway.
Yes, 214.
Yeah. Light That is a command grab up close. And then B is command grab full screen.
Oh, dang. Okay.
And you can hold the buttons to make the command grab have more range.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. To cover the spaces in between. Kind of, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting game.
I actually want to see if I can stream some UNIL. That just came out literally 4 days ago on the 9th. So UNIL EXE, Under Night In Birth EXE Late ST, so the latest, just came out. $50 right now, but like the tutorial mode in that thing is ridiculous. I did the Japanese tutorial for just the combo missions for Nanase, and like it's like, hey, here's what you want to do if you start from this starter. Here's the combos you want to do if you hit him with a low starter. Here's the combos you want to do if you come off of the the AB, the I forgot what the dash attack was called, but like they gave you every kind of starter, and they're like, here's these different branches you can there's so many combos that you can do. But then the tutorial itself just is like fighting game 101. It like tries to teach you everything, and there's a lot of good stuff. I was thinking about streaming that whole tutorial just so other people can see how it looks and everything.
That's a really good idea.
So, but I'm excited. But it's available right now on PS4.
Okay.
So
all right. I will do that. I'll do that.
You can go grab that game. Assault. That's what it was. Thank you, Warpticon. I forgot all the terminology for that game.
Yeah,
so
same.
I definitely want to play that. So it's $50 right now. It is $50. So it's a lot of money. It is. I know it's a lot of money for a lot of people out there.
Sure.
Especially with 7,000 fighting games. I'm sure some people just bought Dragon Ball and Final Fantasy Dissidia and everything else, and then in 10 days, actually, them's Fighting Herds comes out as well, which I'm actually pretty hyped for.
I'm definitely gonna get that game.
Dude, someone was actually showing that to Mori and Daisuke. They hadn't heard of it. And They were showing it, and they were just like, "This is the coolest thing ever."
Sick.
So,
okay.
Yeah. But dude, there's so many games coming out right now. And it's interesting, too, because I did a whole stream on this, an Uncensored episode, where I was like, this might actually not be the best time for fighting games because of this. Because I saw Jeremy on Vicious on Twitter was saying, like, he's been kind of not been playing fighting games, he's a little burned out or something like that. He couldn't figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
And for me, personally, it's that every time I'm playing a fighting game, all I'm thinking about are the ones that I'm not playing. And it kind of messes me up.
Okay.
And I then I'm just like, why bother playing any? I don't know. There's too many games. There's too many games
Crisis
right now.
Choice.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough right now. So I need to get over that and just start jumping back in and being like, okay, Dragon Ball today. Okay, Tekken again.
Yeah.
Okay, here I want to check out the Turtles and TMNT, kind of thing. And it's
man.
UNIL, dude. Oh, I gotta get to that UNIST, dude.
Yeah.
I gotta get in there, dude. It's
tough. I'm definitely losing in a lot of things because I'm playing many different games, but that's you gotta do it.
Play some Dissidia. Oh, and then I have Shadow of Colossus HD. I want to play that. Got to keep playing Mario. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Mario.
Oh, and then someone pointed out to me the craziest game on the Nintendo Switch that you can only buy through the Japanese store.
Okay, it's gonna be weird.
Oh, trust me, this is weirder than you could possibly ever imagine.
All right, go for it.
Joy Sound.
Joy Sound,
which is the karaoke company in Japan.
Oh.
They have a central database of all their karaoke stuff. And so basically you can download their app for free and buy like 3-hour sessions or like 30-day sessions, and you could just access their karaoke database and just...
That's so smart.
It's the most genius thing.
That's awesome.
And the problem is it's all in Japanese, so I can't navigate it right now, but there's this whole Twitter thread that like explains everything, so I'm going to have to go through that whole thing and like...
That's so cool.
Dude, like...
I mean, I don't care for that, for karaoke, but that's
right.
a super awesome idea, though.
So I'm like...
Very smart.
Dude, I am totally going to do a Joy Sound stream at some point in time. But
are the songs all Japanese songs, or is it more than that?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay,
I haven't been able to search properly.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
I haven't been able to search properly, but I think there are American songs because, like, one of the songs I was looking through different lists, and one of the lists I think is American like songs, but the number one song on that list right now is "Jump Up Superstar" from Super Mario Odyssey.
Really?
The
wow.
Paulina song.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Yo, dude!" So
interesting.
Dude.
Well, that makes sense, I guess, on the Switch.
Yeah. So
cool though. That's a really cool idea.
Kind of weirdly excited.
No, it makes sense. Yeah.
As soon as I figure out how to navigate this thing, I'm gonna be all over this thing, dude.
Yeah, man.
This person who told that to me, I was like, "You've ruined my life."
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
Oh, someone actually says their library is very expansive. Awesome. Cool. Good stuff. Okay. Okay. Well. Yeah, but definitely, if you can, check out Unio. It's a good game.
I'll definitely get it. Okay. The previous game was awesome.
Yeah.
We both played it a lot.
Dude, we spent
super good game.
Probably the majority of 1 year when it came out.
Yeah.
Talking about it every week. We found an excuse to talk about it every week. So
really good game.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's all I got?
That's all I got too.
Okay, cool. Then thanks everybody for tuning in and hanging out. Hopefully I did say I wanted to do a Rock Band stream for my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, that has passed. But and I haven't done it yet, and but I'm gonna do it probably either Friday or Saturday, kind of as a Chinese New Year / birthday stream.
Okay.
Because Chinese New Year's Eve is Thursday, and depending on when I get home from my parents' house, if I come back on Thursday night or Friday morning, I'll try to do a Rock Band stream at some point in time this week. So I know my resolution was to stream more often, and I have been failing on that miserably. But at least it hasn't been because I've been lazy. It's been because there's been things going on all over the place. So I will get back into that stream stuff in there. So yeah.
Since it's lunar, does it change date enough to have been on your birthday in the past?
Which one? Chinese New Year? You mean? I've might have had them almost coincide, but I can't remember that ever. I can't remember that personally. So there you go. And thank you everybody for the belated birthday wishes. Yes, that was 2 days ago.
Congrats.
Yep, it's the year of the dog. Hello,
Sweet.
This is Dog. Okay.
I like dogs. All right, well, you want to get out of here?
Yeah. All right. I need to go eat some food because I'm just watching you eat and I'm getting hungry. So.
I mean, it's just salad with noodles in it.
Dude, I mean, it's food right now and I'm hungry, so.
Pretty good salad, though.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night and peace out.
Tweet, 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 tweet.
Okay. Oh, That's I think the wrong one, right?
I'm pretty sure.
It is the wrong. It's dunce, 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 dunce. There you go.
Yeah.